Hello everyone, this is Shikha, your English teacher. Now we are going to complete a question answer part of the chapter Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom. So here we go. So first question, where did ceremonies take place? Can you name any public building in India that are made of sandstone? Now it is talking about the place where Nelson Mandela's inauguration ceremony has taken place, and that was made of sandstone. So is there any building in India also? The answer is the ceremonies took place in campus of Union Building of Pretoria. In India, Rashtrapati Bhavan and Red Fort are some of the buildings made from sandstone. Next question, can you say how 10 May is an autumn day in South Africa? The answer is the paragraph mentions that it was a lovely autumn day. Moreover, as South Africa is in the southern hemisphere, so it is autumn season there. During the explanation of the chapter, I told you this thing that South Africa is situated in southern hemisphere, whereas India is situated in northern hemisphere. So whenever we are facing summer season here, they are facing their autumn season, and about to winter season comes there in the southern hemisphere. Question number 3. At the beginning of his speech, Mandela mentioned an extraordinary human disaster. What does he mean by this? What is the glorious human achievement he speaks of at the end? The extraordinary human disaster was the practice of apartheid in South Africa. During apartheid regime, there was a racial segregation based on the skin color of the people. Black people did not have proper constitutional right. Now the disaster it's talking about was a disaster that was apartheid in South Africa. Segregation means discrimination or differences. Okay, so apartheid regime was a type of racial discrimination that was applied on the black color people, means they are deprived from getting their common rights, means the black peoples in South Africa, they are not allowed to do the same things as the white peoples were doing, means they cannot lead their life as a common person as the white person are doing. So this type of disaster and they are deprived from their common rights, that the rights that are given by the law to the peoples, all the black color peoples, they are not allowed to avail those rights. Question number 4, what does Mandela thank the international leaders for? During apartheid era, many countries had served diplomatic ties with South Africa. On that day, most of the country's dignitaries were present to attend the swearing in ceremony. This was a gesture of the international recognition to a newly born free nation. Nelson Mandela was thanking them for this recognition. Now, before the ceremony, inauguration ceremony of the Nelson Mandela presidential shape, in previous era, South Africa's black people were facing a type of slavery living. Okay, so many other nations, they broke their diplomatic relations with South African people, but now when a black people himself is organizing, is himself is regiming, doing the reign on the South African people, then those, only those countries which broke their relation with South Africa again came to attend the inauguration ceremony of the Mandela's presidentialship, and that's why Nelson Mandela is giving thank to those countries. Question number 5. What ideals does he set out for the future of South Africa? Mandela set out the ideals of poverty alleviation, removal of suffering of the people. He also set the ideal for a society where there would be no discrimination based on gender or racial origins. Now, after taking the swearing ceremony, Nelson Mandela decided that there will be no poverty in the South Africa, no sufferings of the people, as well as there will be no differences should be done on the base of gender or race. Question number 6. What do the military generals do? How has their attitude changed and why? Military journals salute Nelson Mandela, which is having its own importance as during apartheid era, they would have arrested Mandela. The change in their attitude was because of the struggle and sacrifices put in by many heroes of South Africa. This struggle not only ensured the freedom of South Africa but also brought a change of mindsets for many. As Nelson Mandela believed that like hate, love can also be taught and human being is naturally oriented towards love rather than hate. Now this question is about the military generals who at one time arrested Mandela just because of being a black people of the South Africa. They arrested Mandela, but now this day on the inauguration they themselves are giving a salute to Mandela. Okay, so this was just because of the struggle and sacrifices that has been put on by many heroes, many black peoples to get this racial discrimination out of South Africa. So this is the mindset of those peoples. What is the mindset of Mandela? Mandela believed that if anybody can hate, okay, that he can also be created a type of love feeling towards other, because love is a natural feeling of human being that comes in the heart itself, but hate is a type of artificial thing that is deliberately put by others in the heart. Okay, so a human being naturally loves to all the people, and this is the mindset. With this mindset, Mandela is going to reign on South Africa. Question number 7. Why were two national anthems sung? The rendition of national anthem from Old Republic as well as New Republic was sign of the pledge of those who were laying the foundation of a new nation. As it was a pledge to build a society devoid of any type of discrimination, so the Old Republic song was also sung to show solidarity with white people and to show that it will be a truly multicultural society. So on the day of inauguration ceremony of Nelson Mandela, two anthems were sung, one from white people and one from black people. Why? Rendition means performance. Okay, so performance of white people's national anthem is given just because of if the new republic is coming, the black people of the new republic are coming, why do we forget the peoples who have been reigning the country for so many years? Because Nelson Mandela wants to create a multicultural society in South Africa, and on his inauguration ceremony everybody was there, means white peoples were also present there as well as all the peoples from the black color racial society, including man, woman and children. Everybody was there. That's why Nelson Mandela wants to give respect to both the republics, for the white republic also as well as the black republics. Question number 8. How does Mandela describe the symptoms of government in his country, first in his first decade and then in his final decade of the 20th century? In the first decade after the Anglo-Boer War, it was the birth of an oppressive regime which created a system to deprive the black people of even basic human rights. In the final decades of 20th century, the system developed a strong pattern of even ignoring the sacrifices made by so many great leaders of South Africa. It was as if black never existed for the apartheid regime. So in the question it is asked, there were two systems of the government in the country in the first decade and in the final decade of the 20th century. So what type of system were there? So in first decade there have been a Anglo-Boer War, the war between the white and black people. Okay, so in this war the white peoples won the war, and they started a type of system that make the black people deprived from their basic human rights, means the black peoples are going to be exploited by the white people. But in the final decade of the 20th century, a type of pattern is there where they start to ignore the sacrifices made by the so many great leaders of South Africa. Means till from the first decade till the final decade, black peoples are also awareing about taking their human rights, taking their position in the country. So by this awareness, so many freedom fighters arose, as we are having so many freedom fighters in India. So between these two decades, so many freedom fighters also arose in South Africa to get their rights in the South Africa. But this was not done until Nelson Mandela won the election. So this was the system, two system, where first the Anglo, because of the Anglo-Boer War, and in the second system because of the sacrifice made by the so many black people. So it was black, means from the both system, black is never going to have make their places, they are not able to create their own dignity in their own nation. Question number 9. What does courage mean to Mandela? For Mandela, courage does not mean the absence of fear but a victory over fear. According to him, brave man need not to be fearless but should be able to conquer the fear. Question number 10. Which does he think is natural, to love or to hate? Mandela thinks for human beings it is natural to love rather than to hate. So first question, where did ceremonies take place? Can you name any public building in India that are made of sandstone? Now it is talking about the place where Nelson Mandela's inauguration ceremony has taken place, and that was made of sandstone. So is there any building in India also? The answer is the ceremonies took place in campus of Union Building of Pretoria. In India, Rashtrapati Bhavan and Red Fort are some of the buildings made from sandstone. Next question, can you say how 10 May is an autumn day in South Africa? The answer is the paragraph mentions that it was a lovely autumn day. Moreover, as South Africa is in the southern hemisphere, so it is autumn season there. During the explanation of the chapter, I told you this thing, that South Africa is situated in southern hemisphere, whereas India is situated in northern hemisphere. So whenever we are facing summer season here, they are facing their autumn season, and about to winter season comes there in the southern hemisphere. Now, some more questions. How did Mandela's understanding of freedom change with age and experience? As a child, Mandela didn't hunker for liberty because he thought he was born free. He believed he was free in any way as long as he obeyed his fathers and abided by his tribe's custom. As an adolescent, he had certain needs. As a young man, he had other needs. Gradually, he discovered during his boyhood that he was selfish. He gradually understands that it is not just his freedom that is being curtailed, but the emancipation of all blacks. Now, this is the journey of Mandela from childhood towards the adult, and how he changed his mindset about getting the freedom. So when he was born in a free environment. Every type of freedom was there. As he growing up, he was just concerning about the personal freedom. He wants everything for himself, and as he go on the teenage and adolescent towards, then he wants all type of freedoms as everybody wants. Means he wants that nobody is going to ask him where are you going, at what time you will come, at which place you want to be settled, why are you marrying this girl, where are you going to settle with your family. Means all these type of basic freedom he wants. But gradually, as he gaining experience going towards the adult age, then he himself understand that all these freedoms are selfish. If he want to get the freedom, he wants the freedom for, he should be get that freedom for all other peoples, all other black peoples of his country, not just for himself. Next question, does Mandela think the oppressor is free? Why and why not? Mandela does not feel the oppressor is free because he thinks an oppressor is a prisoner of hate, trapped behind bars of oppression and narrowness. He thinks that they are deprived of their dignity by both the oppressor and oppressed. Now, oppressor is the person who are troubling someone, who are doing exploitation on someone. So, according to Mandela, oppressor is not free. Why? Because he is carrying so much hate in his heart. Okay, means nobody is there who can tell them that no, this is not the right thing to carry in your heart. You should love the people. You should respect the dignity of other people as you are respecting the dignity of your own. But there is nobody to tell them, so they are just having the type of hate, so much hate in his heart, and they are narrow mindedness. So they are not free, they are also deprived of their dignity. Means they are not having a type of dignity. Dignity come with the, when you are giving honor to the other person, only then you can make your dignity. Next question, how did Mandela's hunger for freedom change his life? In his youth, Mandela realized that it was not only his independence that was being curtailed, but the emancipation of all blacks. The desire for his own liberty was a desire for his people's right. So this was the hunger of freedom that was not there during the childhood, but as he going towards the adult age, there was a hunger of freedom. And gradually he understood that this hunger of freedom is not just for himself but all the black people of his nation. Next question, what twin obligations does Mandela mention? There was two obligations for every person. So what were those? Mandela mentions that every man has twin obligations. The first is to his family, parents, wife and children, and the second obligation is to his people, his community and his country. Now came to the last question. What did being free mean to Mandela as a boy and as a student? How does he contrast these transitory freedoms with the basic and honorable freedoms? Means what is the meaning for Mandela about freedom when he was a boy and when he go in a adult age? As a boy, Mandela wasn't hungry to be free because he felt he was born free. As long as he obeyed his father and kept up with his tribe's tradition, he was safe in every way he knew. As a kid, he only wanted those transitory freedoms for himself, such as being able to stay out at night, reading what he liked, and going to where he wished. He then speaks about certain simple honorable freedoms, such as recognizing his ability to earn his living, marry, and have a child. He compares these two freedoms by saying that he was limited to the transitory freedoms he desired, while the noble freedoms had to be more with the role of his citizens in the society. So some of the freedoms, means there are so many types of the freedoms. So in the first part, the freedoms that are very much means that are very much required for the baby. When the baby takes birth, all type of freedoms was there. And as you are growing up, until you are obeying your father, until you are obeying the rules of your society, you are not doing any type of crime. But if you are going against those rules, means you are on the path of crime. But as he growing up, as he become in the school age, as he came in the teenage, he just want the other freedoms, like going outside anywhere he want, coming at home at any time, making its family according to himself, marrying any girl according to himself. So these was also a type of transitory freedoms. Transitory is called temporary, that is not permanent, selfish type of freedoms. So he compares these two type of freedoms, but they both the freedoms are transitory freedoms, means they are temporary. As you go move ahead in your life, these freedoms will be of no meanings. Okay, so but after that, after reaching a certain age, after getting some experience, he come to know about the noble freedoms. And which type of noble freedoms? When you are thinking about others, when you want to free other peoples as well as yourself. Okay, so here we have completed all the question answer. I try to give the explanation of all the answers which are having the hard language. If you want, you can go with the answers written on the screen, or you can follow the explanation I have given for each and every answer. So that's it for now. We'll meet again.